Hi, I'm with Gabe Lewall, and he's going to tell us about DecisionWise, the tool that they're using here at SMUD. Gabe, why was this tool developed or utilized?
So probably about 6-7 years ago, our organization made the shift from measuring employee satisfaction to now measuring employee engagement. And we originally contracted with a vendor called Gallup, and they have a very good tool, a survey to assess employee engagement. And what their research shows, as well as other companies that study this, there is a big difference between being satisfied and being engaged. I could be mentally satisfied and be fine with my paycheck I get every 2 weeks and fine with my benefits. But being engaged is a different matter of how much discretionary effort am I willing to invest in my company that goes above and beyond the minimum. So we wanted to really measure that as opposed to traditional satisfaction. DecisionWise gives us a tool to assess that as well as benchmark how we're doing relative to other organizations.
Great. So how have you been using this tool?
So this is a survey that goes out roughly every 12 months in addition to pulse surveys. So what we figured out is that we needed a mechanism to track, are we going to make progress in these key areas before we do the next annual survey. So we've also added pulse surveys along the way to get a representative sample across the organization to essentially give us some idea, are we on track to improve on some key questions that might have been opportunities based on the last large-scale survey. For us, a healthy response rate is very important, and with a lot of effort, a lot of focus, we've been fortunate to get a very strong response rate, so we have confidence in the data coming back.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Any other benefits you've gained from it?
One of the biggest benefits is this is a chance for employees to feel they have a voice, to feel heard, and it does end up providing very specific feedback to those supervisors at the front line and other levels of the organization as you get these roll-up reports in terms of what's working and what isn't working around all these different facets that make up employee engagement. We know one of the most critical links is that frontline supervisor. What kind of relationship do they have? Are they feeling recognized? Are they feeling like the work is meaningful? A few other questions there. So that really is an important feedback mechanism so that that frontline supervisor knows, hey, what am I doing that's working? What can I do better, differently going forward to make sure I have an environment where people are fully engaged, and we know that if they're engaged, they're going to stick around longer, they're going to be more productive, they're going to operate safer. There's many, many different benefits that come from having a more engaged workforce.
All right. Any suggestions you have for anyone who'd be interested in using it?
So, making sure that you have a thoughtful process to look at a combination of questions that you can easily benchmark, as well as you can typically look at some customized questions that are unique perhaps to your organization. So we have a cross-functional team that owns that process and make sure that we're asking the right questions of our employees to make sure we can pinpoint what are the drivers for engagement.
Okay, great. There you have it, the DecisionWise software or program that they're using here to assess employee engagement.